Joel Embiid will never win an NBA title. He is not humble. The guy is too arrogant. When he first came into the league, it was all this trash talk about how great he is. And one thing about the actual great players, they never say how great they are. Every year they're working on new aspects of their game, trying to improve. They don't put down other players. They're basically concerned with themselves. Regardless of how you feel about Ben Simmons, he is his teammate. And whatever issue that Ben Simmons is having, Joel Embiid should be supportive. Or just don't say anything at all. The Sixers should trade Embiid. He's just another guy like Charles Barkley or Karl Malone. Two guys that were good players, but they were not good team players. They wanted to ball too much and didn't allow the other players to really get into the game. Doc Rivers wanted Ben Simmons to participate in some defensive drills. And Ben rejected it, and they sent him home. Which, I probably would have done too. But let's look at this one thing. Doc Rivers is not a good coach. He wasn't that good of a player. I was around when he played. He was not that good of a player. And he's not that good of a coach either. When he won that ring in Boston, it was because of Garnett, Pierce, and Ray Allen. It wasn't because of his great coaching. It was because those players were hungry and had a desire to win, and they won. If it wasn't for Paul Pierce, Doc Rivers would not have won. Paul Pierce had sprained his ankle, and they took him out of the game. And Paul Pierce came back in the game and took the game over. It was not because of some play that Doc Rivers drew up. It was Paul Pierce's desire to win is why they won. When Doc Rivers went to the Clippers, they didn't win. They had a great team. But because he had to play his son over CP3, they lost. Doc Rivers goes to be one of these hard, tough guys, but the guy is trash. When he was in the NBA, as a player, he was trash, and he's still trash. Just like Joel Embiid. He's all talk about how good he is, how great a player he is, but they don't win. He's not a game stopper. He's not the go-to man that can give you those buckets when they need it. He's not going to get those stops when they need it. He's just an average player. And for him to say they're not going to babysit Ben Simmons. Sometimes it's just good to shut your mouth, don't say nothing. Which is what Joel Embiid needs to do, just shut up and dribble. Now this is one guy that needs to shut up and play basketball. Work on your game and on your hairstyle. All the great players, Elijah Warren, Magic, Bird, were gym rats. Every year, they implemented something new in their game. They were never satisfied with their game. Every year they improved. What about Joel Embiid? He doesn't deserve to open his mouth. As I say, as a teammate, you're supposed to support the players. And whatever issue they are having, it's the issue that they are having. You don't let it become your issue. Like, he's the reason that Philadelphia is going to lose. And it's not the reason. It's because that y'all have a sorry team. And this team is not going anywhere. And you can blame it on Ben Simmons all you want. But it's not Ben Simmons. Take a look in the mirror, if you can. Let's just face it. The NBA isn't what it used to be. These guys are soft. They may be, in some ways, more athletic. But they are not good basketball players. Everyone wants to shoot threes and can't shoot them. There's only one James Harden. And you guys aren't it. There's only one Hakeem Olajuwon. And Joel Embiid isn't it. If Ben Simmons would open up, which I don't know if he is or isn't, the team needs to have a sit down and talk so they can see what his perspective is on why he's doing what he is doing. He has a reason. And instead of them wanting to sit down and talk with the man and understand that reason, they would rather attack him, talk stupid to him, and you're trying to force the man out of the league. You're trying to force Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving out of the NBA. When Philadelphia had Dr. J, they didn't win. But when they got my boy Moses Malone, they won. Then they picked up Charles Barkley, a rebounder machine. But they couldn't win with Charles Barkley, as great of a rebounder he was. Then Charles Barkley wanted to turn into a shooter instead of sticking to his game. The same with Joel Embiid. Talking, that's not part of the game. Playing is what you should be doing. Improving your game is something that you should be doing. Supporting your teammates and their issues is something that Joel Embiid and Doc Rivers need to do. Have a real sit down. I know the man's grown. He's an adult, Ben Simmons. But at this particular point in time, in this world, things are just not the same. People are having some problems mentally because of what's happening around the world. And some people just are not good at expressing themselves. They keep things bottled up within themselves. Maybe this is what Ben Simmons is doing. But instead of you putting Ben to the side and not trying to embarrass the man, you are pushing him away. And I'm just hoping that good will come out of this for Ben Simmons. And I guarantee you, Joel Embiid will not win a championship. He will not win. I'm not going to say if, even if he goes to another team and he has to sit down because he's injured. Because he's on that team, he's going to jinx them, and they're going to lose. Whatever team that Joel Embiid is a part of, they will not win, as well as Doc Rivers. When Doc Rivers kept playing his son over Chris Paul, I'm like, man, what is this man doing? I know he wants to give his son confidence, but don't you want to win? And he's not committed to winning. He's committed to giving orders, doing things his way. Like he was a real tough defender on the court when he was a player. The man was a hacker. He hacked. Now when they took him out the NBA, a person like Doc Rivers won't make it in the NBA now. Because you can't hack no more. Doc Rivers was not a good shooter. He was just an average player. I put him along with Allen Level of the Houston Rockets. And Joel Embiid is another Michael Cage, a Calvin Cato. If I didn't know any better, it seems to me as if that the NBA is destroying their own brand. They are destroying their own brand. This is American basketball. And the NBA wanted so badly to put international players on their teams. So now this is just an international team. It's not real American basketball anymore. Where does Ben Simmons come from? Australia? Where does Joel Embiid come from? I know it's not America, looking at that damn hairline. There needs to be an alternative to American sports. Like when they had the ABA and the AFL. Because these teams are not committed to winning. All they want to do is dictate. Tell the players what they can and can't do. All kind of rules. All these rules they have implemented in the NBA has not made the NBA better. It has made the NBA worse. And it won't be long before there's no longer an NBA. It'll probably be the IBA, the International Basketball Association. Someone needs to tell Joel Embiid to put a sock in it. Shut up. Because what you are doing is not helping the team. Now, the way you talk about your teammates, what other player is want to come and join the Sixers while you are on the team? With your attitude. All you can do is admire men like Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving for standing their ground. Willing to take the loss. They know what's going to happen. They know they're going to lose money. But some people do have principles. Some people do have principles. It's not all about the money. Maybe Ice Cube needs to start the Talented Five. The Big Three is all right, but start you a real full court basketball team. Call it the Talented Five. Because you have a lot of talented players on that team, on those teams that you have. And the people like Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons will be a good fit. And these people could draw fans to your organization and away from the NBA. So this goes out to Ben Simmons. Don't listen to the critics. Don't let them, with their talk, put you into a shell. You stay bold and you stay daring. And while you are not playing, practice, improve on your game. Because eventually you are going to get your chance and opportunity to show your real talents. This goes out to Joel Embiid. Stop trying to low rate your teammates and go find you a decent barber.